What's up, everybody? This is Sean.
This is Alan.
And this is Inside the Square, the wrestling podcast, coming at you every weekend from sunny St. Mary's, California, Maryland. What's good, big buddy?
Clash of the Castles.
Coming up soon, next month. I'm sorry, in September. Not next month. Next month is August at the time of this recording. So we just got through watching SummerSlam. So what was your match of the night, B?
Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
I agree with you. That was one of the most interesting matches I'd seen in a long time.
Brock showed out.
He sure did. And it kind of shows you the big difference between WWE and AEW in some respects.
Yeah.
AEW, they, like someone pointed out in a different message group I'm in, they said AEW would have started blading 5 minutes into the match. But WWE, you know, they kept a very clean match, no blood, very little big bumps, but they had some spectacular moments, man.
Yeah.
We'll say the Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns match for last, but besides that, what was one of your top matches, Alan?
Street Profits versus Usos.
Man, they put some magic together with those matches.
Jeff Jarrett, special guest referee, amazing.
Double J, Jeff Jarrett, Hall of Fame.
And the Usos win clean this time.
Yeah, it was an interesting match, too. The match before that we had watched on regular TV was really special, too.
Yeah.
Those guys really know how to put a match on.
Drew McIntyre and Sheamus.
That was an interesting match, too. I think it was a lot going on. And don't get me wrong, the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match, a lot of stuff was going on too.
Yeah.
But when I say a lot of stuff was going on with the Sheamus Drew McIntyre match, a lot of stuff was going on.
It made sense.
I don't know, man. Ridge Holland is boring and dangerous.
Yeah.
Butch, Pete Dunne's character.
They need to change him to Pete Dunne.
They need to change him to something. They need to change him to interesting. How about that?
Yeah.
Because he is one-dimensional. I mean, you can't be a one-dimensional person who act like they crazy all the time.
But you like the match.
The match was decent. You know what I'm saying? McIntyre, you know, he really carried that match, in my opinion.
What about Sheamus?
Sheamus always does really well. He's a really good wrestler. I mean, he's a former champ, multiple-time champ. But like I said, they don't need all that, man, with Ridge Holland, boring ass, and with Butch. It's just redundancy. Now, interesting match I saw was Bianca Bel Air and Becky Lynch.
It was really good.
It had some botches. It was, it wasn't the cleanest match.
But the returns were crazy.
Yes, it was crazy the pop Bianca Bel Air gets.
Yeah.
She is ascended now. I think she's one of their top stars. There's
no one going to take the title off her?
I don't know, man. I think Becky Lynch is still a top guy, a top girl.
But Bayley came back, and nobody saw it coming.
And that was the wild card. You called it. You said Bayley's gonna come back, Dad. Bayley's gonna come back, and sure damn enough, she came back.
And Dakota Kai too, which was weird.
Dakota Kai, Io Shirai, they have a new faction. I'm not sure like what their faction is going to be called, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
And it kind of got me, too, because Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair had, like, that SummerSlam moment.
Yeah.
Where she shook her hand and they gave her a hug.
I thought she was going to go for a manhandle slam.
It was very genuine looking, too. So I was kind of, like, shocked. I was like, oh, my God, this is so cool. It was almost like the Sasha Banks Bianca Belair moment. Bianca Belair always has, like, a moment in these big matches.
She does.
It's hard to explain because it's like, You think they're like staged, but it seems very organic. So it's, I don't know, man. I really like that moment because it was just like something you don't see all the time.
Yeah.
Especially from Becky Lynch. And now it seems like Becky's going to be face. She's going to be a face.
Which is going to be weird.
Yeah, I mean, they built a whole year up for her being a heel. And now she's,
But it didn't work.
It did work. Big Time Becks was a good gimmick.
But she still got cheered at for some reason.
Because she's freaking super popular. She's one of the most popular wrestlers they have.
Even Ronda Rousey.
That was an interesting match, too. Ronda Rousey lost to Liv Morgan. There was a little bit of controversy.
But Liv Morgan kind of got the best of Ronda Rousey.
No, she didn't. Did we watch the same match?
Yeah, we did.
Ronda Rousey beat her up for like 15 minutes. And then
Liv Morgan tried to fight back.
No, she didn't.
I got to give her effort. She tried to fight back.
That's crap. She got her ass beat. And then, the writers, it just kind of showed you that she shouldn't be champ. The way Rousey manhandled her, it was just hard to watch.
Yeah.
And then, they had this, she retained, so they had to seem like she had pinned her.
Like, they're going to have another match, Dad. Come on.
But what I'm saying is, it just shows you that she should not be champ. Those kind of matches show you how, the skill level is. Like, she's not good at the mic. She's not good in the ring.
Would you let Bayley win that title?
I would give it to Ronda Rousey or Becky Lynch.
Not Bayley? Come on.
Bayley's not as popular as those two. And then, in the ring, she's just as good as they are.
Yeah.
But charisma-wise, I would give it to Rousey or Lynch. They're just so good behind the mic. They have, a lot of built-in fans. And on top of that, they go out and they prove it, that they can go out and wrestle. Just like Sasha Banks. If it's not one of them, I wouldn't put it on Charlotte Flair. I wouldn't put it on any of the other women. Maybe Asuka. But the rest of them...
Maybe Asuka?
Yeah, Asuka's really good. Because she goes out and shows out every time she wrestles. Just like Io Shirai. I think she's a really good one, too.
You remember her second Raw Women's Championship run? She had it the longest.
She had a long time.
But she lost to Rhea Ripley for some reason.
Ripley's one of the... she's up and coming.
She's still young.
Yeah, they had a big moment last night with Judgment Day.
Edge coming out.
Edge came back, helped the Mysterios win the match.
I thought it was going to be Bray Wyatt.
They fired him, man. You can't fire the dude and then say, come on back.
But what if Johnny Gargano comes back?
I can see that. Because Gargano didn't leave.
Like, Gargano is a Triple H guy.
Yeah, he didn't leave the company under... bad pretenses. Bray Wyatt left on the bad pretenses. That's why I don't think he's coming back. That's like CM Punk. He's never coming back.
I think it was the budget cuts or something.
No, I mean, they said that he had some problems in the locker room.
Wait a minute. I thought it was the budget cuts.
They said he had problems in the locker room.
He got along with Roman Reigns.
Well, they seem like probably would get along together because their dads know each other. And they probably grew up around each other, too.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, Bray Wyatt's dad is Mike Rotunda.
Yeah.
Earl R. Shyster. If you don't know who that is, you're too young for this podcast. But Mike Rotunda was a former NWA heavyweight champion. He was a WWF tag team champion. Worked for the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase and part of his stable.
Ted DiBiase was really good.
Ted DiBiase Sr.
Yeah.
$1 Million Man. So I just wanted to distinguish between that. But yeah, it was pretty interesting to see all the people come back. Bobby Lashley beat the holy hell out of
Theory. Theory really, really tried.
It was a big talent disparity between them, especially once Lashley got going.
Like, who should go against Bobby Lashley?
I think you called it. I think it's going to have to be him versus Gunther. I think he's
at Survivor Series.
I don't know. I'd prefer to see Lashley win over Gunther because Lashley's just a better
No,
champion.
I would see Gunther winning over Bobby Lashley.
I don't see that. Lashley has more fans. Gunther has the personality of a piece of toast. Don't have good mic skills. Very one-dimensional behind the mic. Lashley don't say a lot, but the dude just go out and show out in the ring.
Yeah.
That's why I think he needs a manager. He needs somebody to manage him, to be his mouthpiece, kind of like Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Switching gears real quick, and I just want to touch on this real quick. Jonathan Gresham lost to Claudio Castagnoli, formerly known as Cesaro, for the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Champion. So I'm curious, and by the way, Gresham quit.
Why did he quit?
They said before the match, once they told him that he was going to be dropping the title, he cussed Tony Khan out.
Dang.
And once he lost the title, he said, he'd take some time away and he's not coming back. So
he might go to WWE.
I don't know, man. I thought that was a big deal because Ring of Honor, it's normally like I want to say average size wrestlers. It's not for dudes who are heavyweights, not super heavyweight dudes. And not to say that Cesaro's a super heavyweight dude, but he's bigger than Gresham. Gresham's like a normal sized guy.
Like, he had that title for a really long time.
And it was weird listening to Cesaro said it in a different interview, how I guess Vince told him that he didn't have enough charisma to be champ. And I was like, that dude didn't have enough charisma?
He does.
I think he does too. But it was interesting, like I said, to see how Vince thinks with that. That's why I thought it was interesting, because once you hear him say it, he's like, I can see Vince saying that.
Yeah.
And Gresham is really good, man.
But he liked Roman Reigns for some reason.
Reigns has a lot of charisma, and he's a really good in-ring performer.
That's why they pushed him.
Well, he got the name. He got name recognition, man. I mean, he was part of the freaking Shield.
For a really long time.
That's one of the most popular tag team or factions they've ever had.
Instead of Seth Rollins hitting a chair on him.
Every member of the Shield has won the heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
All three of them. That's not even like, it's different than the Four Horsemen or anything like that, because there's just three of them. But all three of them won the world championship. And then they went on to, in Moxley, he went on to be, AEW champ, New Japan Pro.
Second time.
And the dude he's killing it. I mean, he's the AEW champion now. Second reign.
And he's going against Chris Jericho.
That's going to be interesting.
I'm saying Chris Jericho.
I don't know what the over-under is for blood. They love blood and some AEW, man.
But I have respect for Chris Jericho. He's really good.
Yeah, he is.
And he still got it.
He does still got it. I'm curious to see how they're going to do things that once Kenny Omega comes back, once CM Punk comes back.
Yeah, Kenny Omega is going to win back that title. I see it coming.
Yeah, I do too. But yeah, I don't know what Gresham is going to land at, man. I'm really curious to see where he lands. I think the thing with Tony Khan was really telling, though, because Ring of Honor is, people might not think of it as an independent league because Tony Khan owns it and he owns AEW as well.
Yeah.
So to see his champ of one of his organizations say, you know what, this is bullshit, I quit, that was kind of telling, man.
It made sense.
It did make sense to me, man, because Gresham should have...
He should have had it longer.
No, he should have knew his role. I mean, if the boss say you're losing the belt, guess what? You're losing the belt.
Like, he had no choice.
I think at some point you have to wake up and be a professional.
Yeah.
And do your job.
And just do it.
Yeah. But, we don't know exactly what was said or what was promised to that man either. It could have been a lot of other things said and done that we don't know. But losing Gresham is a big deal, man.
It is a big deal. I think Triple H is going to sign him to WWE. I see it coming.
I haven't heard anything about it. I know FTR, they've been killing it between AEW, Ring of Honor. They are killing it.
They should keep those titles for a really, really long time.
And for those who don't know, FTR, Feel the Revolt, they used to be the Revival in WWE land.
They were better in NXT.
And NXT. They were one of the better tag teams WWE had during that stretch.
Yeah.
But it's like they couldn't figure out how to keep them.
They just got lost.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I kind of poo-pooed on them too, because they were kind of not necessarily generic. They were kind of like one-dimensional. I mean, fundamentally, they were great wrestlers.
You remember their ladder match with New Day?
Yeah, they've had some crazy matches with New Day. I don't think New Day is kind of like getting lost in the tag team match.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird, man.
But I want to see Xavier Woods go against Roman Reigns.
He'll get tapped out.
No, he wouldn't, because he's going to have Kofi with them.
He'll get beat up.
By the Usos?
They'll get beat up. Reigns could beat them clean. He don't even need the Usos.
What about Brock Lesnar coming back?
I think they need to move on from that storyline. I think the last night's match was like the ultimate match.
It was really good.
I don't think they could outdo that match if they tried, because it was so crazy.
Lesnar was really good.
At no point did I know what was going to happen during that match. It was
I
that
saw
chaotic.
it happening.
It was chaos.
Yeah. Usos try to beat up Brock Lesnar.
Well, the thing is, Lesnar, for those who don't know, who didn't watch it, spoiler alert, I give you 5 seconds and then I'm going into the match. There's 5. Lesnar could roll down there in a damn tractor.
He allowed it.
Yeah.
Triple H allowed it.
Yeah. And then he jumped off the damn tractor.
He did it for the fans.
And that's how the match started.
Yeah.
That's like not even before the bell rung. It was completely insane. And then, after he beat him up, it was crazy. It went crazy for like 10 minutes. He freaking F5'd freaking Paul Heyman into a table. Crazy.
And he put Roman Reigns to Suplex City.
Yeah, he took Roman Reigns to Suplex City.
A lot.
He took the damn tractor, moved the damn ring, and lifted it up.
You remember Roman Reigns was in it?
Yeah, and tossed him out of the ring.
Yeah.
And it just went bonkers from there. Theory came out, tried to cash in the damn contract.
But it didn't work.
It didn't
work.
Brock
Lesnar.
Lesnar took him, F5'd his ass.
Yeah.
And then it just went crazier from there. It's hard to explain how crazy this match was without having to watch it. Once he beat the hell out of Theory, Reigns got him. The Usos stuck him.
2 spears and 2 super kicks.
Yeah, and then he beat the hell out of him with the Money in the Bank contract briefcase. And then to top it all off, they piled a bunch of stuff on top of him so he couldn't get back to his feet.
But that was smart
because it was a last man standing match. It was completely insane. I loved it from the beginning to the end, and it had like I said, if you didn't watch it, it's hard to explain how crazy and chaotic this whole match was. I'd never seen anything like it because it was just so crazy. It was just, even from the point where Brock took the microphone from the dude and announced himself. I was like, what the hell is going on here? But it was very interesting to watch. I would watch, they outdid themselves for that SummerSlam match. What do you think?
They did really good.
What would you rate it?
9.9. Lesnar should have won that one.
Lesnar out-wrestled them. The dude is...
But the Usos interfered again.
That's plot armor, man. That's plot armor.
Yeah.
It's plot armor. But, it's very interesting to see.
Like, Lesnar should have won the match, but the Usos interfered again.
And it also presents another interesting problem. What are they going to do with this dude? He's obviously one of the more popular wrestlers
Brock
they've ever
Lesnar?
had. Yeah.
He's going to go against Roman Reigns again.
No. They signed him, that money they gave him was for like 10 matches.
I think it was 11.
Well, my point is, are they going to back up the Brinks money truck and pay him again?
And go against Roman?
What? I wouldn't do it. You have to cut most of your roster. You have to cut a bunch of people off your roster to pay this dude.
Yeah.
And if that's what you're going to keep doing, that's fine. But if you keep doing this, you got to have some kind of succession plan to move on from this dude.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar's 40-some years old.
He might retire.
I don't know. I'm not trying to, be an ageist, but you can't do it forever.
Yeah. He's been doing this for a really long time.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to poo-poo Brock Lesnar. Dude is the baddest man on the planet. Former UFC heavyweight champion, New Japan Pro heavyweight champion, multiple, 14, 15-time heavyweight champion for WWE.
And WWE champion a lot.
Yeah, and he's basically held every belt in the company.
Yeah, I think they should move on to Brock Lesnar.
But what I'm saying is, how are you going to keep paying this dude $10 million every year?
Yep.
I wouldn't. They have to move on from him.
Yeah.
They have to build their roster. They have to build up new dudes like Theory, like some of these other new guys.
Like Braun Breaker.
Like other people.
And Sikoa.
And move on from him. Because if they don't, they're going to be beholden to this dude every time they come to a big pay-per-view.
Like, who should go against Braun Breaker?
Probably Sikoa.
Sikoa?
Yeah.
I thought it was Apollo Crews.
Apollo Crews boring as hell. He has a person.
No, he ain't.
That dude has the personality of paint drying.
Come on. Don't talk about Apollo Crews like that. Like, he needs a big push. Like, if he goes against Braun Breaker, he's going to win.
He was the Intercontinental Champion of WWE.
It was not that bad.
And no one cared.
I cared.
No one cared. The dude is...
Like, Triple H cared.
He has the personality of pocket lint. He's very boring.
Come on, he ain't. Come on.
I'm being truthful. Well, that wraps it up for us this week, guys. Any last thoughts, Alan?
I think Apollo Crews is going to beat Braun Breaker. That's all I'm saying.
www.doubtful.com. It's a website. Well, all right, guys. I'll check you out on later. See you down the road.
Bye.